Hello and welcome to Thompson. My name is William Lebowski, and today we have some ACC race footage here. I've actually been doing some fun, just really short 10-minute, 6 race championships and just running through different cars that I've never really used before. And here we are in the Lexus. I'm actually really loving the Lexus. And the reason why we started at the very end of the field was this is the second round. The first round was at Monza, and I DNF'd out of Monza, crashing the car. And instead of just, restarting that, I was like, yeah, I'm going to take my DNF here. But I've really been enjoying ACC recently, especially after the R Factor 2 competitive season kind of had to take a back seat since we dropped out of the main series that we were looking at as competing at for a team for the whole year and even going into 2023. And so after that, I've just been in this lull, kind of looking to kind of fill some gaps, trying to have some fun. And my iRacing subscription is not going to be renewed probably until Black Friday, just because I want to spend as little money on iRacing as humanly possible, because I really hate their pricing model. But that's really as much as I have as far as it goes to gameplay experiences. This video, not so much about the gameplay at all. It is definitely going to be somewhat sim racing related and also life related. And starting with sim racing, I've just been kind of examining my own behavior, both as a community member of sim racing, both as what I am uploading, what I am like in these videos, how I am presenting myself, how I'm conducting myself in Discord servers, how I conduct myself in race, just kind of thinking about who I am in sim racing and in who I want to be, as far as it extends from every kind of aspect, from the content creator, from the race car competitor, the sim racer, the competitor, and myself, and as well as just a member of the community. And I've kind of made a similar video to this maybe a year ago, called Content Creator, Hobbyist, or Competitor. I think it was the title. I'll have it linked up in the top right if you're interested in checking out where I was thinking at that point of the year. And I'm kind of hitting that end of this cycle again, but I'm viewing it in a different way than I was last time. That kind of was a little bit of an identity crisis as to who I was, and this is more of less of an identity crisis, but an analytical, or maybe not analytical, but a comprehensive look at who I am and who I want to be. And this started by examining these real life aspects. There's some things in my personal life, real life, whatever we want to refer to that as, that I'm really interested in changing, that I'm really working on right now. And in addition to that, there's been a bit of a fire put under my ass to make those changes. A few different both one big personal change and one I guess we can call big professional change. But so there's just been this fire that's been placed under my ass that's really caused me to examine the way that I conduct myself and the way that I am and what I have and what I want and where I'm going and where I want to be going. Just these kind of general questions that I've been thinking about and answering myself and putting into no longer just a thought experiment, but actually putting into practice, into the real world. And that's been real stressful. That's been hard. It's not an easy thing to do, and it's hard to be honest with yourself in these moments, in these talks, and in these answers. And I've gotten in a few Discord beefs, I guess we could call them. I wouldn't necessarily say they were full-fledged beefs, but they were situations in which I had wished that I behaved better. And whether or not that these were people, I mean, I've caught myself slipping up in this way to people that I like, that I consider friends, that I would be sad if I no longer got to speak to them. And I would also consider to say that this has probably happened to people who I maybe actively don't like. And I don't think that that's any better. Truthfully, I don't think that that is good. And I'm ashamed of that behavior that I can recall with these people, and so that really led me to think about who I am now as a content creator. Who am I behind TopSim, and is this are these negative aspects that I'm identifying in my life exist in this sim racing content creating position that I've put myself in? And I can say the answer to that is yes, and it's not in the same way where I feel I'm doing negative things, where I'm doing or I'm exhibiting behaviors that I wish I hadn't, or that I really despise of myself. It's more not doing the things that I think I should be doing. And to put this specific, to put this to the specific language that I am talking about when it comes to content creating, me in sim racing, when it comes to me in sim racing, the thing that really has made me fall in love with it, the thing that really makes me come back to it, are these mock endurance kind of events. And then right now I'm specifically speaking of what keeps me coming back to sim racing offline, not necessarily what keeps me coming back to sim racing competitively. But when I want to boot up a sim for the purpose of not practicing, when I'm thinking about what kind of fun racing that I want to do, it's all sorts of LMP1 hypercar, GTE kind of multi-class, LMP2, LMP3 style racing, and I love the pinnacle tracks of motorsports. I love Le Mans, I love the Nordschleife, I love Spa, I love the Nurburgring here where we're at today. I love these pinnacles of endurance racing, these Silverstone. I love these cornerstones of endurance racing, and quite frankly, I don't necessarily think that those make the most entertaining YouTube videos per se. I think and especially if we're talking, not necessarily just talking about good quality or what is entertaining, but what we specifically talk about when I say a good video is in terms of its reception, its view, success, its work in the algorithm. And, being a small channel and making videos, I don't want to be yelling into the void, right? So of course I would like to be using as wide a net as possible, but at the same time I'm finding myself doing things that I wouldn't do otherwise, and I just am going to stop doing that. And to put some of those into specifics, AMS2 is not a sim I enjoy. I even reluctantly call that a sim. It's not a title that I enjoy. I think it can be fun to go fuck around in it when it comes to just not wanting to take something seriously or to get in a goofy car or track that is just a ridiculous option for racing and it is just a spectacle or a gimmick, and so that's but AMS2 does well when it comes to views. People who like AMS2 really are thirsting to see more weird AMS2 content, and that ends up a lot of times me restarting videos over and over, driving cars that I don't really care about, and on tracks that I don't really care about, or in the case of AMS2 have hardly even heard of a lot of times. So going forward, I'm not gonna do stuff like that. I'm only going to make the type of videos that I want to watch. And it's not just that I love this endurance style racing or mock endurance style races, or 2.4 hour races or 24 hours and 24 minute races. whenever I see those videos in my subscription, I have never clicked on them faster. And that was one of the things that, really, especially at the beginning of my, sim racing content creation, when all of this started, what really drove me to Urban Hemiatovic's content was he seems to have that similar interest of those mock endurance videos, and he has tons of those types of videos on his channels from Le Mans and from the Nordschleife. And so that's what I'm gonna do going forward. That's who I am in sim racing, and I think it's a bit of a huge disservice to myself in the long run, to the people who watch my videos, to not do that. So anyway, I'm really curious to hear what you guys think, especially if you've made it this far into the video. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm interested to hear what you think as a person who's watching this video, and I think there might be some moments where people disagree. But anyway, that's all the time I got, guys. We'll see you in the next one, and thank you for watching.